Let's talk about you, because you know I like to get a little personal. Like you said to me, I want to get a little personal.
I know,
so
I know. I knew there would be a payback day.
Because you're so well known in the community. You are, I don't know too many organizations that you're not part of, on the board, on the committee. You're just really, really a pillar of the community. So everybody basically knows that. But a lot of people don't know that your health has taken I don't want to say a turn, but has taken some challenges. Do you mind speaking about that?
Oh, I have no problem whatsoever, especially if it's going to help one female.
Okay.
That's not a problem at all. And I guess I have to say, even with my health, if I did everything right, I probably wouldn't be in the condition I'm in now. And I don't look at the condition as being a bad condition. I'm just thankful for having good doctors. And I'm also thankful that I don't read everything. Because one of the things that happened as a result of me not reading everything, my insurance was changed. And I didn't know it until I was having problem with my feet. And when I went to my doctor, who wanted to schedule for me to meet with a specialist, he called me the next day and he said, "Margaret, you're no longer my patient. They've changed your insurance." Well, our benefits office is right across the hall, so as soon as I hung up the phone, I ran over there to say what happened with my insurance. Mm-hmm. Well, the reason I panicked is because my husband's on dialysis, and I'm saying, I can't afford not to have insurance. Right. You know, what happened? So we had a plan that was going to cost the employee. So we had to sign to agree to that. Because I didn't sign to agree, I'm in 32 years of working with city schools. If you don't sign anything, everything remains the same. So I assumed it would remain the same. So I didn't sign anything, so they changed and put me with another plan, which happened to be through Loma Linda.
Okay.
And I said, no. I said, I want my old doctor back. And they said, well, you have to wait until the enrollment period. But you need to, meanwhile, go through the doctor we've assigned to you. So when I went to the doctor assigned to me, who happened to be a very young, very, very young man. In fact, I just teased him and I said, "You sure you're not disguising yourself because you should be in high school?" And he just chuckled and told me he had graduated in 1994. But during our conversation, he kept saying, "I know you from someplace." And so I found out that he rode his bike every day past the school where I was the principal at, on his way to his high school.
Look at that.
So, at any rate, he just said, in doing an exam, he just said, "I don't like what I'm feeling here." He said, "I'm going to send you for a mammogram." And I said, "Well, I just had one last year and everything was okay." And he said, "Well, I'm going to send you in again." And so I was obedient. I actually went, which was surprising to me because I usually don't listen to doctors that much.
Right.
So I did go in, and to make a long story short, I think this might have been in March, but in May I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer.
Right.
So it was a shocker to me because it's something that, you know, and the thing is, my mom and dad both died of cancer, but I never thought it would ever happen to me because right. I'm next to the youngest of 6 kids and none of them had cancer. So, you know, I said it won't happen to me either. But I did get good treatment, and glad to say that.
Loma Linda's known for good treatment in that particular disease in itself.
Yeah.
So look how they changed. That God had them change your health.
Yeah.
Care.
And they are good in that, but you know, by the same token, I don't want to say other hospitals aren't, especially right. since I'm the chairman of the board of Community Hospital San Bernardino.
Sure. Right.
So I certainly
do they have
appreciate.
A cancer department over there?
Well, actually, they do not. Their patients go to St. Bernardine's, but I understand they have a good program also.
Right.
So you know, so I don't think I would have gone wrong in a place either way. But it just so happened I was at, you know, Loma Linda, and just proud to say that a week ago I received my last radiation treatment. So I just have to now wait and see. But my feeling in my mind is I'm in remission.
Okay.
For whatever, whatever that means.
Right. Well, I wanted you to share that because the stereotypes that we see of people that have cancer always have a certain look to them. They have a certain, just a look that looks like they are sick. And you really just don't look sick. You really have a great tone and look to yourself. You're very positive. You slow down a little bit because you run night and day, Monday through Sunday. So I know that you've slowed down a little bit because I've asked you that, and I was very happy to hear that you have. And you continue to work, and you continue to be positive in everything you do and speak. And not to say that other people don't, but if somebody walked in, when you walked in, would you think that you were a cancer person? Nobody. I don't think that anybody would know that. So I think your story of you continuing, and I know you pray, and I know other people have prayed because I've been to a couple of awards situations and people came up and prayed for you. And so I really wanted you to share that so that someone can see this. And I'm going to do some stories later on particularly cancer and talk with doctors and those things. But I wanted people to see you and see that part of you, to see that life still goes on and it could be positive. There's still ups and downs and you still get tired. I'm sure you were tired when you were doing some of your treatments and emotionally and those things. But look how you continue to go. And I have never once seen you be negative on life, on anything, and you always instill positiveness into me. So
well, one of the things that happened with me with the cancer, I knew I had to do things a little differently than what I had done before. But it was good news when my doctor said, if you're working and you enjoy what you're doing, keep working.
Okay.
And when I talked to my boss about it, and he said, I just want you to get well and get back to work. And there's been just so much support through prayers, through conversation, through cards. And I've received things from everyone that, there's an 83-year-old lady who calls me every day. And if I don't answer, it's where are you? And why aren't you home? And things of that nature. So I have a big support system out there of people who call, people who email, people who, on Facebook, checking to see how I'm doing. But my support system has been so good that I almost feel guilty. And I hope other people have had that. And I know at hospitals they have support groups, and they ask me, are you going to go to the support group? And I said, well, I have such a big group out there already. I don't know if I have time for another meeting. But, everything has been from my husband, who's always, said, don't worry about, well, I didn't worry about cooking to begin with, but, then the confirmation I didn't have to worry about cooking because he's the cook in the family. To a good friend of mine named Denise, who from day one with my chemo treatments, because I had chemo treatments from June into September, but for every treatment she would take off work to take me.
Wow.
And would stay there with me.
Okay.
I bought a Nook because I said, at least I'll be able to read while I'm going through my treatment.
Right.
And I never took it with me because she was there, everyone. And I even said to her, Denise, you could really just drop me off and come back later. She said, no, I'm going to be here.
Oh,
and she took off work to be with me and all of my treatments. But even when I had my surgery, I had to be at the hospital 5 o'clock in the morning. Who was there 5 in the morning? But Denise. My brother drove in from Bermuda Dunes to be there 5 in the morning. My husband, one of my ex-co-workers, and 2 of my nieces, and a sister-in-law, so every step of the way, there was support. There's been a lot of support here in the office, right. and it's just been good. So I really never had time to think of cancer as being an illness. It was just a stumbling block.
Right.
And, and I didn't completely fall. I just kept,
moving. An obstacle.